Chad, we've heard some bullshit in the last few weeks. In fact, in the last few months. You said on the podium tonight that if you listen to everybody, you're down and out and you're over in this game. But you proved them wrong tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're only as good as your last race, and let's be honest, the last few races that I did were pretty much well below average for me. So it is what it is, and you take it. And the thing that hurts most is a lot of people questioned, that I was trying to get out of my Cowie deal, and I used the illness for that, and the illness was very real, and I had to work my damn ass off, and I was committed to it. I spent 15 days, and sitting there for 7 hours a day with an IV, and believe me, you don't do that just for the hell of it, So at the end of that, I felt like I was a bit of a pincushion, and so I don't care to ever go back that direction. So this is why I'm committing to only one race at this point. I took a lot of data from tonight, wore my heart rate monitor, and just for the very little amount of time that I've spent on the bike, feels pretty good to have that result.
Let's just talk about the bike a little bit. You're staying stock up there. It's not obviously not stock. You've got your own suspension components in it, but it's a fair way from the factory bikes you've been used to.
Yeah, I think just people from the negative side of things, to comment on that, it's everyone says, he's only as good as he is out here in Australia because he brings all this good stuff, and bring the team, and obviously a bigger budget than what they all have here. But today we worked out of a 10, and Pip built my bike. I think he started on Thursday, and basically just bolted on a bunch of pro circuit parts, and we went racing, and it felt awesome. I'd be lying to say if it was probably some of the best I've ever felt on a motorcycle, and reminds me of the days of 2009, end of 2008 on the Suzuki. So yeah, it's coming around, and obviously this is there's a different level of people, but you can't discredit people like Josh Hansen and Justin Brayton. They're really fast. They're respectable guys in the US, and I felt pretty good.
You got a bunch of friends and family out the back here, and your wife Ellie, your son's out here from the States. How good was it to do it in front of the Newcastle crowd? A bit of a dream?
Yeah, it was good. It was coming in. You always, I felt good. I think physically, I felt like I had a lot more to give than I had, the last month of my racing in the US. So I felt good about that. But you never know. Like Josh Hansen can haul butt on a motorcycle, and so can Justin Brayton and Jay Marmont and Reardon, all these guys, Alessi. So you come in knowing kind of what you got, and I wouldn't say that I doubt myself ever, but you take a realistic side of it, and the real side of it is that I haven't spent a lot of time training and riding, but I think you come in with a full head of steam. You're excited to be here. You're happy doing what you're doing, and you're happy about the people that you're around, and I think that's something that you can't buy, and you can't be given that. You gotta create that, and that's why I'm in the position I am without a ride in the US, because there's something that I want, and I'm chasing it.
It seemed to me almost like you're a little bit surprised about how quick you were. I know a lot of people take quite a while to adapt to the Honda. I'm not saying it's bad, but certainly different chassis geometry wise. But after tonight's performance, are you sort of tempted to think, well, you look pretty good, you didn't look tired. Are you tempted to think, I should do some more rounds of this thing?
I'm not going to do any more rounds, that's for sure. It's priority number one is to get a ride in the US. I'm hoping to hear some things, maybe Tuesday, because it's Monday in the US. On Tuesday here in Australia. So tonight really, to be honest, what I take from tonight was everything that I knew in my own mind, everything that I was confident about. It feels good to know that the feeling that you got to have to win and to be competitive, and I felt tonight that I had that edge, and I had that fire, and I had a little something that I know can be competitive in the US. I've been doing this a long time, and I know what it takes, and there's going to be a lot of talent out there next year, and I wouldn't waste my time, Ellie or Tate's time, dragging them around. Everyone thinks that it's all luxury, and we get to go hang out in a motorhome, but having a kid and a wife, dragging them around on the scene, it's not easy. and I'm 100% committed to what I want, and hopefully I get it, and we can give it a shot.
Next few weeks, obviously you're waiting to hear back from the States, but you're going to hang out in Australia, or as soon as you get the call up from the States, you're straight back there. What's the plan?
To be honest with you, to put this program together, it's been a lot of work, and just without Matt Cousins, this wouldn't even be possible. He's worked his butt off, and I know that he's had some sleepless nights as long as me. I was here at 10 o'clock this morning, putting up bunting and all Vodafone, PR stuff. So I feel like over the last month I've really earned a new respect for team managers and team owners, and somebody that's trying to put their own program together. And Mitch, Payton, and Bones were extremely helpful. I don't know 100% how that program is over there, but I'm pretty confident in saying that I know Bones and Mitch, give their product up. What they race is what they give to their customers, and I can tell you, man, this bike was a lot of fun. And anybody that's and if it's that easy for those guys to get these settings, man, whoever's riding a privateer Honda in the US next year is getting a damn good bike.
Well, Chad, it was great to see you here tonight, mate, in front of the home crowd, and they're pretty vocal out there. It was, a little piece of history, I guess. You're going to, tonight's going to hold a special place in your heart, do you think, in the sport?
Yeah, absolutely. It just, on a lot of levels, a lot of people are going to downgrade it, and who did he win, and James, and Villapoto, Dungey, this, and all that kind of crap. But at the end of the day, it means so much for me to play a role in Supercross in Australia, and to see it come from where it did, 3 years ago, to start the first race in my hometown, which is a huge goal and something that I was, asking and begging for the last 3 years. So just an unbelievable environment for me to come here and live. I basically, I grew up about 30 minutes away, but I actually right now, I have an apartment that's like 2 minutes away from here. So it felt weird last night. I actually sent out a Twitter, just kind of feels weird, I got a race tomorrow, and I'm excited, but I'm at my place, and or at this place in Australia, and I'm going to be racing 2 minutes down the road. So it felt real cool and just unique, and so it's a good weekend for me, and I'm going to take a lot out of this, and take a full head of steam into being confident that I can still ride 2 wheels, and felt like I was pretty fast tonight.
Yeah, I think you got some more 2 wheels before you go 4, mate. But last question, going to put you on the spot because you're not riding the rest of the series. Who's going to win? No, who's your trifecta for the Super X series?
Ooh, I don't know. It's hard to say. I think with the different formats and all that kind of stuff, I think that that obviously throws a lot of different flavors out there. I think Hansen, speed-wise, is maybe the next best guy. Brayton in that second race, he got a good start, and he kept me honest there for about 4 or 5 laps. So, and then I've seen him do it in the US, heat races and all that. I've seen him be really, really strong. So, I think it's going to be a good battle between those guys, and I think. I think that a lot of the Australian guys, it's kind of like they look at me as obviously somebody that does well in the US, and I don't think they're really expected to beat me. I don't know if they personally feel like they can actually beat me, but I think that Josh and Justin, I think, are going to bring a lot to this series, because I think I think a lot of people are going to want to beat those guys and kind of believe that they can, and it kind of was an on-ball weekend. I got pretty decent starts. The first one, my jump was terrible, but I got pretty creative in the first lap, and but the second one I was right there with the Lessie with the whole shot. So I don't really know where everybody else was. I don't know where Marmont was, whether he got caught up into something. It was a tough track tonight. It was slick, hard, tough to pass, so you had to be patient out there.
Mate, congratulations. Great to see you here, and I really hope you get some good news on Tuesday or in the next few days.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it is what it is, I think I'm getting, a lot of negative side of it is that because I always say, there's X that I want to go racing, and at the end of the day, you got to do what makes you happy, and I know what it takes to win, and I know the feeling you have to have and the environment you have to have, and anything less of that, I'm just not interested. I love it, and I think tonight I showed that I had the fire back. And if you put me on a program that I'm happy, I know that I can be that title contender that I always have been.
We're going to go and reacquaint yourself with a couple of the local bars tonight, mate, or the health holding you back on that issue?
Nah, I think this is my place right here. You know, I think we're going to go have a little bit of a little fun with the friends and family, and yeah, it should be just a good night. You know, go out with my little, you know, just a bunch of friends, really. You know, a lot of friends that I never get to catch up with, and they always come here, and they're sitting in the back and waiting on you, but you never really get to spend some good time. Tonight we'll go and hang out with them and just have fun. You know, I don't have any commitments, you know, next weekend. You know, but we're saying that, like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, he's bitching out of the series, but, you know, I sit here today and I say I'm not going to race next week, and I'm not. But it'll feel weird not, you know, sitting at home or in the US next Saturday and knowing that the series is going to go on, and something that you've played a big role in, and you have an emotional attachment to it, and then you're not going to be there lining up, and you don't have a shot of winning a third title. But, you know, life goes on, and I hope that all these guys in this series does extremely well, and you know, maybe I can get a deal done and get a lot of testing done, because that's a priority. You know, if I do get a deal done, I have to commit to that, and I am, and I'm going to come out swinging for 2011, because, you know, at the end of the day, that's my bread and butter. That's what, you know, where I earn my living, and it's what, you know, who I am. I want to be world champ, not Australian champ, and that's not degrading this series. It's just the reality of it.
Well, we're going to be pretty busy next week. Maybe you can come and help us out with a couple of interviews, Chad. Are you going to have time on your hands?
I'm going to be busy, so if I'm in Australia, I think I'm going to go up to the Gold Coast and watch some V8s, and, you know, all the rumors about V8s. You know, at the end of the day, you got to have a plan B, and I think right now I feel like there's some things left on the table that I want to achieve with two wheels, but if it doesn't work out and I don't get what I want, then I have to do something, because I'm not a person that's just going to stay at home and chill out and be a retired fat guy.
Fantastic, mate. Thanks for your time, mate. Good to talk.
Thanks.